Welcome back, guys. It's Priets coming back to the brand new Binding of Isaac video. Today we are back with the Eden streak, going for win number 329 in a row. So without further ado, let's get right into the game, get some gaming going on, have a little bit of fun, and see where this run takes us as Eden on hard mode. Hope you guys are all having a great old day. If you guys notice, I did change my video border. Now, okay, you might be wondering why. I thought it kind of looked dumb. I think it still looks good how it used to be. But whenever I changed it for a different scene, it changed it for this one. I wasn't planning on changing it for this scene. It's what it is. But real quick, artillery is below average, damage below average, pretty much everything below average. The seed is Y2BC, 4T9S. And we start off with Daddy Longlegs and Diplopia, which we are not going to use for a while. But yeah, I don't know if you guys like it, let me know. If you guys don't like it, also let me know. I think it looks pretty decent. I don't know if it's lined up correctly. Let me check. It looks lined up correctly. I don't know. It might not be lined up correctly, and somebody might be like just have an aneurysm because it's slightly not lined up. But I forgot that I changed it, and then I didn't realize it was going to change for all my scenes because all I did was replace the file that it pulled it from, which replaced it completely instead of just adding a new asset. It was dumb. But anyways, that is that. And you might be asking, why were you setting up a new scene on Streamlabs? So the reason why is because I was recording some Hogwarts Legacy. Now, here's the thing. Do I have any footage to show for my time in Hogwarts Legacy? And the answer to that question is absolutely not. So what happened was I recorded for about 30 minutes, just paused it. Everything was going fantastic. There was nothing going wrong. It was perfectly fine. And this was going through like the very first like intro area. And the intro area, I'm guessing, is quite small. So you don't really have to generate too much. Like your computer doesn't have to process too much. So it was fine. It was great, actually. I had no issues. But then as soon the very first time we are at the castle, my computer crashes. Because not my computer crashes, but like my game crashes, OBS crashes, everything on my computer crashes. Because I'm running the game on high, which my graphics card, my computer can do. The thing is, I just can't record and play it on high. And so about an hour worth of footage just down the drain because I was recording an MP4 format, which I didn't know. Like, I've always known that if my Streamlabs crashes, then I just lose all the footage that I had recorded. What I didn't know is that there was a solution to that. It was using an MKV file that does not have a special method. That's crazy. An MKV file that doesn't have a special method of like finalizing, so that if your computer crashes, it instantly just saves what you have. So I changed it to an MKV file. So I am recording this on an MKV file, so hopefully this video turns out well and you guys are actually watching this. But all that to say, I did not record any of the Hogwarts. So I was recording it. It was going well. The issue was, it was like the genuine reactions of the very beginning of the game were kind of important to me and like the way that I thought about it for making the video. And so I was like, dang, that kind of sucks. And I don't have that anymore. And the thing was, I didn't want to play the game on like lower quality. Just so I could record it. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to record any of this session. I'm not going to record any of the gameplay for right now. If I do decide that I do actually want to make a video and actually want to make a review, I will simply replay the game again real quick. Not real quick, but like just go to a different save file, go to like the main story stuff, put it on easy or something, and just get like the clips. If I really need to, if I decide to actually do it. I will take mysterious paper. Actually, I don't want mysterious paper. The lighter's pretty good. But yeah, so that was what happened. Since I lost a lot of footage, and I was just like, okay, I don't know how to do how to do this. And sometimes like the issue with the game is no matter what I do, it sometimes just crashes. The game is like super good. Let me tell you, it's an amazing game so far. I love it. Some of the combat's a little bit weird, but I'm not talking about that exactly right now. It's just the game. Sometimes it all of a sudden just dumps, and I mean dumps so much stuff that your computer has to process at once, and it's not the best for your computer. Also, I know I lost the bone heart. It's fine. But it like it puts a lot of what is it? Puts a lot of stress on your components because all of a sudden you're walking around and it's like, oh, we're loading in a new area of this castle that has 14 million rooms, and yeah, it just can't do it. And I mean, let me tell you, it is such a crazy game. The graphics are insane. It is wonderful. I love the game so far. I've loved every second playing it. I've been playing it with Carly, and just like we're getting all like the field guide pages, and we're level like 18 on story quest missions that are only level 4. We're just like just doing everything we can, just having a great time with it. And so it's wonderful. But as I said, it puts a lot of stress on your hardware. And so it's really hard, especially for me with a not lower end. I have a very good computer, a pretty good computer. I have an i9 9900K, a 2080 Super, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and my main issue I was running into yesterday was actually not having enough memory, which I don't know if it was talking about VRAM or actual just regular RAM. I think it's DRAM. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna go in here real quick, and there's zero reason for me to use Diplo here. The reason why there's zero reason for me to use Diplo is because I'm taking duality. I still get angel deals, and so I just don't need to, like, I don't need to not take a devil deal. Right there, if I was getting something like Goat Head, for example, what I would have done is Diploed. That way I could get Goat Head without actually losing my angel deal chance, but I didn't have to do that, as we just saw. But yeah, it's a very, very wonderful game that just is like very, very harsh on your computer, and sometimes it runs so smoothly. I'm running it at like I don't even know how many frames, but I have it on the recommended settings for my computer, and it runs beautifully. And then Carly has it running on all ultra, like with ray tracing, and it runs wonderfully. But then every once in a while, even though her computer's amazing, it still stutters because there's so much the world has to load in, and it's just very hard for any computer to do that. So I'm not docking points from it or anything, but just for my computer that I have, it would be very hard for me to stream it. I mean, I could stream it at like low settings and all of that, but who wants to play a beautiful new game on low settings? And so whenever I do, or if I do go back and record any of the game, I will just put on low settings. But I want to play through it once, get an idea of like how I like the game, and then either get footage via recording it myself, or just like finding like other streamers' footage or something like that, because I feel like that would just be the easiest method. Also, I'm gonna take you. That's a little unfortunate. And I'm gonna take you. I feel like we just use all of our money to get all the resources we need. And can it even be? Here's the question. I don't believe it can, which means it's probably has to be right here, right? No? Or is it above this room? I don't know. I have actually no clue where that... I feel like it is to the right of this room. That's like the only place it could really be, right? I guess it could have been in this room, right? It would... yes, I guess it could have been there. I don't know. I always forget where the secret rooms can be. But this is fine. And I don't need more money. I'm good. But yeah, it's been a crazy fun game. I started playing it, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I got back from work yesterday, had it downloaded, and started playing it, and I've played up probably like 8 hours of the game so far, maybe more than that so far. And I mean, the graphics are crazy. And I mean, it runs smoothly for the most part until like there's like you're running between like places in the castle, and it's like super laggy just because it's like loading stuff in. But it's not like it stays laggy for long. Now, one issue that I did run into is there was this like little side quest where you have to like duel some other students, and whenever you go into that, it loads you into a place that you technically weren't already. So I had to load in the map, and also had to load in 4 students, like a total of 6 different character models. And the issue was every time it loaded me in, it would like lag for the first few seconds. And the issue with that was that I couldn't do anything. I couldn't really do anything at the beginning. I was just getting hit like crazy. And because I'm on hard, I would just take a bunch of damage and couldn't do much. But I still beat it. It was still fine. Also, I don't even know how I keep getting bone hearts. I mean, I know how, but I just keep losing them. I'm dumb. But yeah, it's great. I chose to be in Hufflepuff, and I just want to say, I don't know if I said this yesterday in my video or what happened, but the reason I decided to be Hufflepuff is I feel like some people are they're like, ooh, I like Hufflepuff because it's the quirky pick. I pick Hufflepuff because the badger from Narnia was one of my favorite animals, and I love badgers. I like Hufflepuff because the badger. And for the longest time, I thought Hufflepuff was an animal, right? Like, I don't know why. I thought, like, because, like, Gryffindor, it's like, oh, Griffin is, like, a griffin. Slytherin, I'm like, Slytherin's snake. You know, that's just obvious. So Hufflepuff, I thought Hufflepuff was the animal. Anyways, once I found out it was a badger, I'm like, yeah, that's sick. I want that. Please be something good. The Devil card, the Emperor card, the Chariot card, the Ace of Diamonds, the Strength card, the Devil card, and the Sun card. Now, what do I want to do with this? I feel like I'm just going to use the Sun card to find the secret room, probably. Because we can get it for free. We just pop this here, and our stats are still quite bad. If I take more damage, we'll be more fine, but we're not in the best situation. So where's the key that was in here? It is floating right there. Do I have a hangman or something? I feel like I should. But so far, it's very interesting because it has, like, the fighting mechanics are fun. They are really fun, but sometimes they're just awful because what it requires you to do is you have your basic attack, which is your right trigger, and then you have your 4 spells that you can equip. So whatever spells you've learned, you can have any 4 of those spells you've learned equipped at any time. The issue is in order to, so you use your basic cast as right trigger, and then your other 4 spells, you have to hold down the right trigger and hit A, B, Y, X, any of those. Because I play on controller, because that's the easiest way to play these type of games, in my opinion. And so the issue with that is you have the Protego spell, which lets you to have like a force field, and if you do it correctly, you can like parry the attack and like stupefy the other student or whoever you're fighting. But the issue is that you have that. You also have A, which is where you jump. But if you don't hit right trigger at the right time and you use like hit Y or A, you'll either jump or use Protego instead of actually attacking. Or if you are trying to protect or like jump or something, or mainly protect, and you're holding the right trigger, you can't protect. And so it's a little bit rough. Also, that's not my favorite. But yeah, that's the only thing that's been like a real downer. Other than that, it's been great. It's really cool. The story's pretty good so far. I don't really have many complaints, and I think it's great. I've been having a great time with it. But I just need to play it more because I've really not experienced that much of the game. Because as I said, we've really just been walking around trying to gather like every single collectible, doing all, I mean, it's a single player game. I've been trying to get every single collectible, every single little thing, just as I run past it, just to like try to get like full completion. I like full completing games if at all possible. Oh my gosh. Why'd that one tier literally shoot straight at me? That was scary. But yeah, I've just been doing like little everything. And so I'm so high of a level for no reason, and it's kind of like the Elden Ring approach, where the higher level you are, the easier your life could be. Also, am I gonna be fine right here? Yeah, right. Watch this. I don't ever use bombs to fight Colostomia. It's actually super easy to fight Colostomia if you have bombs. Who would have thunk? Also, I'm gonna stay really close so the bombs don't come as far, which might not even work, but I like the idea. Okay. Imagine this acid poop hurt you while you're flying. That'd be unfortunate. We'll take Clot because it is a damage up, which is fine. Not like a actual like stat damage up, but it is a damage up. And since that scared me. Since I don't have like an active item or anything, I don't really need a full clear. I could get like more money and stuff, but I would rather not risk my life. I'm trying to think of what else. So far, I've not even unlocked the ability to ride a broom. Mounts are still are still not a thing I can use. But it's just, if you want to, you can progress through the game very, very quickly, it seems like. Now, do I know? Not really. Also, I do want to use, I think, the Devil card just to get the key that's in this room. Because the Devil card does give you flight, because it uses the Bible effect, which I feel like the effect of flight from the Bible is one of those ones that you don't really think about too often. Some people might. When I have the Bible, I'm like, I don't use it for flight. I do sometimes. I'm just like, oh, this is only for killing mom easy. But what do I want to do? Ace of Diamonds, Strength is fine. Emperor card is pretty good. Ace of Diamonds is really good. I'm just gonna take Ace of Diamonds to get some money. Money's always fine. I don't really need any of this other stuff because I plan on going angel deals, and I'm guaranteed to get angel deals. So it's not like I need to use like the health hack. This is good. Okay, so we do have flight. So I do get to come in here for free. And I've not seen this setup before. That's weird. trying to think of like what else to say about it. Like so far it's great. The only issue I've ran into is that it is a little bit laggy every once in a while, but it's not like consistent. I mean, it's not inconsistent or like consistent lag. It's just it's the reason why you have lag is consistent, but it's not like you're always lagging. It's only like whenever you're like sprinting through the castle trying to get from one section to the other, and you're just loading in a bunch of stuff very rapidly. Of course, that's going to cause some lag. I mean, if you're in Minecraft and you run really, really far on the map, guess what? Your game starts to lag. Why? Because you're loading in a bunch of chunks. Now, is Minecraft just a little unoptimized and probably could be better? Maybe. Who knows? Also, Saturnus. I could have gotten 2 Saturnuses if I wanted to. I don't really feel like it. But it's just, I like how the game feels a lot. The last time I played like a Harry Potter game, there was like some game for, I'm trying to remember what console it was, like PlayStation 3 or something like that, where my brother and I played the Harry Potter game. And I mean, it's cool because it's very like, it's a very good open world. Like it's very, 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 it's a huge map. It's pretty wild. So I'm going to take this because I don't know what the other item is. But it's just absolutely huge. And which makes it really fun. It's really cool to go explore. But there's almost like too much to explore. It gets a little crazy. So I don't know. It's just a wild game. So I know there are a lot of people who are trying to like, or not trying to, who are boycotting the game because of the connection with J.K. Rowling and the fact that in the past J.K. Rowling has expressed like transphobic and like just homophobic remarks that are just not cool things to say or do or think. So I understand why people are boycotting it, but the way that I see it is that J.K. Rowling is not connected through this. Of course she gets royalties. Of course she gets royalties from anything that has the Harry Potter name, but she had no part in the creation of this game, is what I've seen online, and I've seen like from the FAQs of the actual company. They try to make sure that people know they're as distant as possible from J.K. Rowling, which I think is fair. If you have a transphobic like author who has a crazy world, you don't really want to be connected to her. Also, that really sucks. I took way too much damage in the past few floors. Maybe I still get the deal though. Anyways, my whole idea is like there's still like a huge development team who are great people probably and have worked really hard on this game, and it'd be a shame for their work to go to waste just because. Ooh, that's crazy. Just because like the namesake, the person who created the game, the world that the game is in, is a bad person. So it's a little crazy. It's a little funky. I don't know how to feel about it exactly, but it's one of those games that for everybody loves Harry Potter. Everybody is like grew up on Harry Potter. That's like my age, older even. Like we all like grew up on Harry Potter. I went to the Harry Potter movies in the movie theaters from movies like 3 to the very last one. And so like it was a crazy part of like my family and all that. And so I feel like a lot of people share a similar sentiment where they just grew up watching those movies and they were like the blockbuster movies. Like the Harry Potter series was like the end game of before Endgame and Marvel came out. It was like the universe. It was the coolest, like craziest series of movies ever. The only other movies that really I feel like rivaled it with like the depth of how big the movies were all together would be like Lord of the Rings, having 3 movies that like all had a pretty connected story. There weren't like a lot of movies that had like really good connected stories like Harry Potter. Now, there were like the Star Wars movies. I'm not gonna say the Star Wars movies aren't like super well connected and all of that, but it's different. Also, watch this. I'm just turning everything to money. I know that might have been dumb, but I just need to get rid of that. I'll forget to use it. But yeah, I understand that. I don't want anybody to think that I'm trying to support somebody who has expressed like transphobia and all of that kind of stuff, but I like to, I don't know. I feel like it'd be a shame not to play a game that she's not even connected to. And as I said, of course she gets royalties from it, but like it's the royalties she gets from it are probably pennies to like the billions of dollars she already has. She's already vastly rich. There's not much we can do about that. Not playing a game that she's not connected to is not going to topple her empire, you know? So I'm just having a great time with it. I'm enjoying the game a lot. And that is that. Kind of forgot that I recorded my eating streak before I went to work yesterday. Work yesterday was good. Got in a little bit of trouble. Not really much trouble. I socialize a lot with the students that I have. There's this one student especially who just really does not like math and that kind of stuff, but is like really he really wants to get into like a military academy, and like he wants to do better in school, but he's just like, he has a hard time. He has a really hard time in school. And so a lot of time that we're like doing the math is like, while we're doing the math is I'll like talk to him about like going to like military academies and like talking about college and talking about like getting grades in high school, and like just trying to motivate him to like just keep on doing his best, because he probably can get into the military academies if he does well in school. He's only like a freshman in high school, so it's like he has a lot of time to like improve his grades and become a good candidate for a military academy. But then we also like talk about cars and stuff, but I just like try to make sure that like if he doesn't want to do the math at the time, especially if it's not like homework and it's not even stuff he's working on in school, I don't put like a crazy amount of priority on like getting that done. Like I want to get as much work as we can done. Of course, I'm not trying to like not get work done. And ooh, let me get out of here. I need to beat you without taking damage. I know I probably won't get the deal anyways, but this is fine. But yeah, it's so. Especially with him, like most of the time we are talking and like talking about cars, and like he's usually comes at the very end of the session. So like while he's doing work, like he likes art a lot. So like we talk about car. He like really likes drawing cars. Oh my gosh, he really likes drawing cars. And so one day we were just both just drawing cars for like 10 minutes or something, like while he was doing homework every once in a while. Also, that's crazy. I'm gonna explain this real quick. So we do have a duality, but this is a very weird instance where you can't actually spawn both a devil deal and an angel deal. Now, I don't know why it always chooses devil deal instead of angel deal. I feel like it's always like that. But in this room, because technically up here is not solid land, because a rock had to break, it can't spawn a door up here. Because we already have the mausoleum door, it can't spawn a door over an angel deal over here. So it can only spawn one of the deals, which is quite rough. And I might as well take this because it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to use Damocles because guess what? Damocles is just a dumb idea. I probably could have donated my health first. I just didn't want to accidentally go through the door. Anyways, yeah, we would just like talk a decent amount. Mainly because like a lot of it was just trying to like... A lot of our talking for a while was just talking about military academies, like what he likes about military academies, why he wants to do different stuff. And I mean, I try to make sure that the people that I'm working with stay motivated as much as they can, because it's, if you're bad at math, the last thing you want to be spending your like your Tuesday night on is working on math. You know, it's like I feel bad for some of these kids because like it's 7 p.m. on a weekday after you've already had school and all of that. Like if they're not working on homework, it's like what, they don't really need to get a lot of work done. As long as they're getting work done, like a good amount of work done, it's fine. But so my manager, I'll call her, she's really nice. She's great, but she was just like, listen, you need to keep the conversations down a little bit. I'm like, I know that's on me, but it's like, the way I see it is I'm not harming any of these students. Like I'm not like wasting their parents' money. I'm making sure they get stuff done. I'm making sure that if they have questions about the math that's relevant to them at the time, that they are getting the answers to the questions they have. I'm also trying to make sure that the concepts that are in their books that they're learning. And so a lot of the time it's like, it's rough because there's students who just don't want to do work, but can do what they're on. It's like they can do the math really easily, but just work really slow. Like one of the high schoolers I teach with, he knows how to do the math. It's just, he doesn't exactly want to get it done. It's just how it goes. Like I understand it. It's not fun. Like doing math, not the most fun thing ever for some people. And when I was in high school and all that, I got my homework done in like 5 minutes because I always, like, math is always easy for me. Also, did I have the strength card this whole time? Maybe. Yeah, I was just like, yeah. I didn't really take it. I didn't really get, like, nervous that I was going to get, like, in real trouble whenever she was talking to me about it. But I was like, man, that's unfortunate. And so then that night, he was not with me. Which made sense, but it's mainly because his mom was like wanted to make sure that he was getting work done, which I understand. I do understand, like, a parent's paying money for us to tutor them, and they're paying like a decent amount of money. Tutoring's not cheap, but I personally would never, I don't think I would ever pay for my kids to have a tutor. I don't know. It depends. I never needed a tutor. Like if my kids were as smart as I was and like were doing well in school and like were getting bad grades just because they were like smart but just didn't want to do the work. I don't know. There's a lot of kids who just are smart and have like B's in math, and there's some kids who have like A's in math and their teachers still make them, not their teachers, their parents still make them come and get tutored. I'm like, that's awful. I'm like, just because your kids, I don't know, it's crazy to have your kids get tutored even though they're doing perfectly fine in math. It blows my mind. I know some people have the money to do so, and so like it's just like, why not make sure that your kids are getting the right education, but teach their own. Other than that, work was fine. It was good. Work is just work. I was asked if I could work on Friday this week, and let me tell you, if it's Friday's the day that I'm just not supposed to work ever, but one of the other centers is open on a Friday, and the only reason I started working at this other center is because I was not promised. I was told that if I would start working there on Sundays, I would get privates because Sundays are their private days. But so far, I've done 2 privates, and I've been working there at that mathnasium on Sundays for like the past like 2 months, which is not great, let me tell you. And the thing is, it's like an hour away from my house, which driving it 2 hours in total just to get paid $15 an hour for 4 hours of work, not something that is in my best interest. It's 6 hours in total. 6 hours divided by 60 is $10 an hour, which still isn't bad, but it's like, it's just not worth my time too much. Now the other place I go to is like an hour round trip, which is a lot more reasonable. Like it makes a lot more sense. But they're like, come in Friday. I'm like, I know. I'm not. They're like, can you come in Saturday? Nope, can't come in Saturday either. I'm like, if it was my actual like place I usually work, I would say yes. But since it was the other place, I'm like, no way you're ever getting me to come in. Also, that's crazy. Getting Goat Head and Duality just means that we have guaranteed angel deals for the next 3 floors, which is wild. I'm glad I have taken Diplo this whole time, because one day we might actually get a payoff from it. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. People are always like calling out, and the biggest issue is a lot of the workers, especially at the mathnasium I work at, are high schoolers, and so they're like, oh yeah, I can work 1 day a week and on weekends. The issue is our weekends are actually like our least busy time for whatever reason. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It does make sense, but also just it's weird. The high schoolers only work on the weekends, so we have like 6 high schoolers who can work on the weekends, and then like 3 people can work on the weekdays. Like, what the heck? Something's wrong here. So I'm going to take this. Hopefully it doesn't kill me. Let's go. Fire Mind is awful, especially with Saturnus. I love it. I love to see it. It's kind of the best. Yeah, I don't know. Whenever I got hired to work there, I was like, listen, I have a YouTube channel. That is my main, like, that's one of the main things I like to do, and I just want to have this job for like resume experience and to like just work here. I'm just here to like get a little bit of work in. I'm not trying to do anything crazy, you know? And they're like, yeah, we respect that. We know you like have your own like little business on the side, and we respect your time. Yet every single week, I pretty much have been asked to work at least 1 extra day, which isn't an issue. Like sometimes they need extra help and they can't control it, but it is a little rough just always being asked to come work, because working from 4 to 8 is rough, especially whenever you have to drive an hour home. Guess what? I get off at like 8:30. I get home at 9:30 if I go to like this other location. That's not something that doesn't make much sense for me to do. It's just rough. Now when I leave at 8 from the main place I work at, I get home at like 8:20, which is great. So I am gonna come in here. We are getting absolutely destroyed by this stuff. I don't know why I took Mitre. That was a rough choice. I was thinking in my mind, I was like, I can take both if I use Diplo, and I could get Seraphim. So I was like, you know what? I'll just take Mitre first, which is not the choice I should have made. That's fine. Is there anything else I need to do on this floor? I do want to find the secret room if at all possible. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, I just don't want, if I told you I only want to work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, I only want to work those days. And I realize I'm working part-time, and so only working 4 days for 4 hours each day is only like 16 hours, which is not really like, it's not a lot of time. But it's not like I'm working part-time at a job that has 8-hour shifts where I'm only working 2 days a week. I'm working 4 days out of a 7-day week, and I told them coming in that I was only doing this as like just like a side little gig, like a little side hustle, just for some resume experience, pretty much. But they just keep asking me. It is what it is. It doesn't really matter. Anyways, I'm just having a great time. A great time with everything. Life's been good. I've been a little tired still, but I stayed up so late playing the new Harry Potter game last night. It was worth it. Let me tell you, 100% worth it. So I don't know why I've not been in here yet, but we are here now. And the reason why I didn't pick up any of those pennies and then I decided to use the Ace of Diamonds was because the pennies could have been re-rolled into different coins, which would have been kind of nice. Also, what's in this shop? I feel like I'm not paying attention to anything right now, which I'm really not. I could get... I'm going to buy potato peeler real quick and go crazy with it. Why? Because it gives me damage every time I use it. It's not a lot of damage, but it gives me some damage, which makes me happy. Also, I'm blowing this up. I know I shouldn't blow it up, and I never should, but it's what I'm doing, and I'm happy that I did it. Okay? Nice. Sick. Hey, can I do this real quick, actually? Strength card? That's what we're talking about. Now we have 2 of these big honkin' dudes. Large men who can go attack some things. And watch this. Watch how much damage we do. Okay, you guys... Wait a sec. Wait a sec. You guys didn't need to go actually attack. Please. Like, look at this. They actually do so much damage. Meat Boy is actually really, really strong. And if you have enough health to use Potato Peeler, I recommend you always using it. It is quite good. And I'm taking... 2020 is not bad. At all. What's in here? Blue map is pretty decent. I would like to take that. If I had Red Heart health, I could have gotten enough money right this second. But guess who doesn't have any Red Heart health anymore? Because he decided to use it all. This guy. I know I need to not go into the boss fight before I finish doing this floor. So I'll take my time right here. I'm trying to think of what else. I don't know. I've just been playing a lot of Harry Potter. Yesterday was just, I woke up, I recorded, I went to work, I came home, I played Harry Potter. I also helped Carly put in some fans. It was a rough time. Let me tell you, she bought a... If you guys know what like anything about PCs, or you've seen some PC builds, you'll sometimes see that there's a 24-pin connector in some PC builds that is like a big lit up strip that's like a custom like 24-pin connector. And those are like, I think most of them, if not all of them, are the Lee & Lee Strimmer V2s. Nowadays are the V2s. But it's a light strip thing that requires you to plug it into both SATA power, into a USB header, into an RGB header. And so we were trying to troubleshoot it because for some reason it was not lighting up whatsoever. So I asked Carly, I'm like, hey, did you plug it into the USB header? She said, yep, I did. I was like, okay. Are you sure you plugged into the USB header? Yep, I'm sure. Okay. Did you plug it into the SATA cable? Yep, I did. I'm 100% sure. I'm like, okay. Like, I watched you do that. I'm like, the RGB header is like completely plugged in, right? Because I watched her do that, so I knew for a fact she plugged that in. She's like, yeah. So I'm like, I have no clue what the issue is then. Like, it has to be a software issue, and I don't know anything about Lee & Lee software, so I don't know what's happening. So then she's like doing stuff with her fans. I'm like, listen, can you just... Or she finished doing her stuff with her fans and forgot to like check like all the connections through the Lee & Lee cable. I'm like, okay. Can you just do something for me real quick and just make sure that the USB 2.0 header's in there? And she's like, it's already there. I know it is. I'm like, are you sure? She's like, yep. So she opens it up. I'm like, find where the micro USB is plugged in to the Lian Li controller. And she's like, what micro? Is it the micro USB? And she showed like a 2-prong like pin, like little cable thing. I don't even know what it was. It might have been like a thermal sensor or something. I was like, no. They're like, that's not it. I'm like, that's not it. That's not a micro USB. She's like, that's what I thought, but there's no micro USB. I'm like, there should be. I'm like, that's the issue. There should be. And so she looked in the box, and there you have it. There was a micro USB little cable that plugged into a USB header, and also there's nothing actually plugged in to the second USB header on her motherboard, which I knew there was nothing plugged into. She had told me there was, and I'm like, oh gosh, Carly, this is why I'm asking. This is why I was asking you questions. You gotta check before you just tell me. I'm sure I did it. You're like, I got confused with the cables. I'm like, I get it. You got confused with the cables. But it was a little frustrating because if I know what's wrong, especially since I had like looked at all the manuals and like knew pretty much everything about her computer at that point, I could help her as long as I knew what was happening. And so it got a little funky. And I know this is about to be completely useless, but I really I want a Diplo Sacred Heart. Should I do it? No, I'm not going to do it because there's zero reason to. I'm going to be a responsible human being. Now, on the next floor, I think I am going to go into the Devil Deal to see if I can get, like... I mean, because the Devil Deal is guaranteed to have more than one item, usually. Not guaranteed to have more than one item. It has a higher chance of having more than one item. I could also just wait to use Diplo on the chests on the last floor. No matter what's going to be sick. Okay. This reminds me of the time I had Yera and I opened all the chests and then forgot that Yera doesn't work on open chests. I didn't forget it didn't work on open chests. I got confused because I had Diplo and Yera. It was a whole time. You guys had to be there. It was great. It was a wonderful time. Look how crazy we look. We got crazy teeth. GG. But yeah, it was a little bit rough. I was just like, based off of everything you're telling me, it should be working 100%. When she showed me that there wasn't a cable plugged in, I died a little bit on the inside. I'll be honest. It was a hard thing to witness. Oh my gosh, I got so confused where I was. Okay, we're going to the Devil Deal, and oh my gosh, you know what? I don't even care. We're diploing this. I'm taking you, and we're getting the double broken heart stuff because we're just gonna have all the damage because there's free damage. Okay, sick. Now, was that a dumb decision to make? Yes, it was. I probably could have diploed the stuff on chest. But I don't understand why my deals are so bad. This was probably like... I mean, I know I got Sacred Heart. I can't complain that much. But, like, my deals were just genuinely very, very bad this game. And I don't have a lot of health because I did take... I did take 2 broken hearts. Now, I can't take lethal damage. Or I can't die that easily, which is good. We'll see what happens. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna re-roll. Where are you? Where? I don't know where that yuck heart went. Gonna be honest. It's kind of gone. That's kind of creepy. I don't know where that went. And yay, we got another shop. And we got 15 cents. That's sick. Okay, I can't really take any of this. So I'm just gonna take this and hopefully we get something good. And we kind of did. You know, I'm going to reroll all use. And that works. I'm also going to buy this chest, or not this chest, this key. Yeah. Also in PC news, my brother's computer, for the longest time, just, I don't know what went wrong, but like, for a long time, he didn't know how to update like his graphic card drivers. And I know it's like not something that's super complicated, but like if you don't know how to do something and you don't realize something needs to be updated all the time, you're just not going to update it. So for like the entirety of the time he's had his computer, he didn't really update his graphics drivers. And like he was just like, I can't get like half my games to work. I'm like, have you updated graphics drivers? This is like a year ago. He's like, no, do you have to do that? I'm like, yes. you have to update your graphics drivers if you want to be able to like actually use your stuff, because once they think like drivers get outdated enough, they kind of just like break down a little bit. So we got that to work, but then because he wasn't updating stuff, like none of the drivers on his computer were ever getting updated. Like Windows was never being updated. At some point, Windows just stopped. Like it was like, no, I cannot update anymore, which was a little bit of an issue. But I tried to help him for like 30 minutes to figure out why it wasn't working. Also, I know I'm like pretty much just dying right here. I have a lot of ways to stay alive. We're fine. I'll take this for I actually don't want to have Lazarus, because no matter what, if I die, I don't come back to life, because I'll make all my broken hearts come out. But then yesterday when he was playing the new Hogwarts Legacy game, his computer just crashed, and since it crashed, every time he tries to do anything and update Windows or anything, it crashes. And the issue is every single one of his drivers on his computer is pretty much out of date. But what's also an issue is his Wi-Fi driver, like his Wi-Fi and Ethernet drivers are also out of date, and so nothing works. Like literally nothing works, and he just gets a system thread extension can't handle, something like that. I forget what exactly the issue was, but pretty much nothing on his computer is working. So I sat with him for like an hour and a half today, just trying to figure out what was going wrong. And we couldn't really figure out, I couldn't figure out anything. I was literally just looking online. There's a system thread exception could not be handled, something like that. But I could just not figure out what was wrong. I could not fix it. And I mean, I'm just a basic person. I don't know much about computers. I'm going to be honest. The only thing I know is that I turn mine on and it plays video games for me. And so whenever I'm trying to figure out an issue, I just Google things, and that's about all I could do. And am I a pretty good Googler? Let me tell you, I'm kind of the best. I'm kind of a G when it comes to the Google. So I tried to help as much as I could, but all that really happened was, nothing happened. I'm gonna be honest, nothing happened. I tried to go into his system logs to figure out what driver was causing the crash, because it's online. It said that usually it was a driver causing the crash, which, you know what, if Windows can't update and drivers can't actually update, then you can expect that at some point one of your drivers is going to cause issues to where you can no longer run your computer, really. But I don't know. It was a wild time. Oh my gosh. I'm taking you, and I don't think we're gonna do much else this run. And Tech Point 5 is actually gonna be our best thing ever. Also, where did I get all... Oh, I got Seraphim, so I got a bunch of soul hearts. You know, maybe we can do Mega Satan. It's not like that dire. But I went into that, tried to find like what was going wrong. None of the errors that caused his computer crash ever contained anything that talked about either his graphics drivers or his like just window drivers, like that kind of stuff. So I don't know why it keeps on crashing. I did a whole thing where I like checked his memory. We launched it in safe mode so that it wouldn't, like, hopefully wouldn't crash. We haven't replicated the crash again since it was in safe mode, so it's probably like a software issue of some sort. But I don't know. I told him, I'm like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know how to fix it. I told him to just take it to like Micro Center or something. There's people who actually know what they're doing might be able to help him. A little of me, maybe not. Yeah, it was a time. What's in here? Soul of the Lost. I do remember that being the item that was in there. I know I could use D20 in there, but listen, you can't expect me to do all that. Oh my gosh, let's just stand in your laser beams. That sounds sick. This is probably the worst I've played in days. I feel like a sloth. I'm just gonna reroll that. That's crazy. What a reroll. Now we have 25 damage. We are just kind of like a villain. Now, I probably could fight Mega Satan and live. I'm pretty positive I could. I'm not really that concerned, because like I do have a dumb amount of damage, and I'm pretty good at Mega Satan. But I will always be a little concerned. You know, I'll be a little scared. Now, let's see. Nice. And I'm just going to full clear because I want more items. But yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Everything's just not working, and I'm just like, I don't know how to fix anything. Because like, if I could try to like manually install some like new drivers for his graphics card and all that, it'd be fine. But it's just like, nope, everything's up to date. Can't get connected to internet, so we can't do anything. And anytime we try to update Windows, it crashes the computer as well. It's crazy. So if anybody knows an issue to that, system thread exception can't handle. It can't handle something like that. I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was it was something along those lines. You know what? I'm gonna do this. And we're going crazy with these items that we're getting. We have so much damage, and we just go crazy. Maybe we can do this. Maybe we can just so happen to fight the Mega Satan. I don't really know, though. Okay, we're coming here. Please, chest. No chest. Very sad. And finally, this room. And no chest. Sick. Okay, I'm going to fight Mega Satan. I should be fine. I know I only have 4.5 hearts of health, but anytime I take lethal damage, I will get broken hearts instead of death. I actually do have another room I can go in. I kind of want to take... I do not want to take Shard of Glass. I don't even know why that was something that came into my mind. That's just not a good idea. Okay, finally, we come in here. We're going to go to the health that's in this room and re-roll it, and none of it's a chest. We're fine. If it made my like damage higher or something, it'd be fine. If I'm taking damage, you know what? I'm taking it. What's the worst that can happen? I die? I probably shouldn't die. I mean, I should be fine. I have 25 damage, which is pretty redonkulous. Now, the biggest mistake I made this game was taking 2 broken hearts. But that was out of fear and frustration. Fear of what? Fear of never getting another good devil deal again unless I took those 2 broken hearts. So listen, that happens. The game curses you. If you don't take the items it gives you, it will give you the items you don't want. It'll forever curse you. I actually do have a lot of damage. Plus, I also have a bunch of iframes because of Blind Rage, the trinket I have. I should be fine. Yeah, I don't know why, but recently it's just been computer issues. It's just some people don't know a lot about computers, which is fair. Computers are complicated. I don't know a lot about computers as well, but it gets a little hard. It's very frustrating to try to deal with a computer when you don't know a lot about the computer. It happens. Can't blame them. Now, could we probably have fixed this issue that my brother's been having if we worked on it a little earlier? Maybe. Maybe not, though. I have no clue. I don't know what's actually causing the crash, so it might be unrelated to all of this. The fact that he tries to update Windows and it crashes makes me think there's a little bit of a connection. Maybe a little bit. Just a small one. And there we go. That right there is going to be the run. That right there was win number 329 in a row as Eden. So if you guys did enjoy that video, please leave a fat old big old huge check mark, like, thumbs up, whatever it is down there. I don't know what it is. Is it a thumbs up? I don't like videos. I don't know why I just don't like videos or like it posts on any social media. Now that you know that about me, I can bid you adieu. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, it's been Priets. Peace out.